Today I will be showing you how to make this polar bear or bear. So let's get started, and we're going to use the exact same color as this guy here. And this white that I'm using, it's the Rainbow Loom glow in the dark white, and I like it. It's very sturdy and easy to work with. And you're going to also need something to hold your limbs and eyes and nose. So the first thing we're going to do, let's make his snout here. You're going to take a single black rubber band and you're going to loop it around 4 times around your hook. Take 3 single white rubber bands and you're going to pull that black rubber band right onto the 3 single white rubber bands and then slide it onto your hook. And now you're going to take a single white rubber band, loop it 3 times on your hook, take another white single and go ahead and scooch that 3 single white rubber band onto the single rubber band and get one side of the nose onto the single rubber band off the hook. Put your index finger through where the hook was, let it go, grab the other side, grab the nose, and pull it through. And now your nose is on the single white rubber band, and go ahead and put it on your holding hook for later. So now let's make the ear. We're going to take a single rubber band, you're going to loop it around 3 times, take another single white, loop it around 3 times, and take 2 single whites, and you're going to pull all the looped rubber bands onto it. And that's one side of the ear. And if you want it sharper, you can just do 1 single rubber band, wrapping around 4 times and putting it on the 2 rubber bands there, the 2 single rubber bands, and then go ahead and transfer it onto your holding hook. And let's make another one, same thing. Take a single rubber band, loop it around 3 times on your hook. Take another single, loop it around 3 times. Take 2 single rubber bands and pull those looped rubber bands onto it. And get it onto your hook. Pinch it and then put it aside for later. Now to make the paws, we're going to take a single rubber band, loop it around 3 times, take another one, we're going to do 3 single rubber bands looped around 3 times. This is my third one, 1, 2, 3, and we are going to do part of it on the loom. So his legs are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 sections of 2 rubber bands, so we're going to add 3 here on the loom. 1, because we're going to do 1 on the hook. 2, and these are all 2 single rubber bands. 3. So let's do that for all his arms and legs. 2, 3. That's 2 rubber bands each, and we'll attach the paws to it. 2, and we'll need to make 4 of these. And for the paws, so you've wrapped 3 single rubber bands 3 times on your hook, then take 2 single rubber bands and go ahead and pull all those looped rubber bands that you wrapped around 3 times onto your 2 single rubber bands there, and then you can transfer it onto the foot and like that. And let's go ahead and do the other paws. 2, 3. Again, 3 single wrapped around 3 times around your hook. Take 2 single rubber bands and pull those 3 single rubber bands onto your hook and loop it right onto the foot. And we're going to do this 4 times. 2, 3, 2, 3. And once you don't have enough space, go ahead and reach in past the paws, pull it back, and looping it onto itself, creating teardrops. And that's one of his foot. Just go ahead and finish the other ones. Just making sure when you reach in, you're reaching to the very bottom 2 rubber bands and looping it onto itself, creating the nice teardrops. If you don't have those teardrops for any of these parts or the body, it's gonna come off. So go ahead and take it off your loom and put it aside for later. That's one of his foot. His legs, so his arms. It's 2, 3, and I'm going to make the last one. If you're done, go ahead and fast forward a little bit. If not, just keep right along with me. Again, the last one. 1, 2, 3. 3 rubber bands wrapped around your hook 3 times. Let's set up on our loom. 2 rubber bands at a time, 3 sets. And then 2 single. You need quite a bit of rubber band for this polar bear, especially for the body, because I made him have a little bit of bulk. Finish looping, and then we can work on the eyes. If you can't see it, pull it back. Okay, for the eyes, we're going to do the same as the seal. And we're going to take a single blue, we're going to loop it around 4 times on a hook. Take a single black and loop it twice on one side and twice on the other. And push it back for one of the eye. Again, repeat. For the other eye, take a single blue or whatever color you like. Wrap it around 4 times. Take a single black. Wrap around twice on one side and twice on the other. And then since it's going to go on the face, you're going to transfer it onto a single white rubber band, or whichever color your polar bear or bear happens to be. And this polar bear or bear will be standing on his 4 legs, on 4 feet. Okay, just pull it right through and right onto your hook. Go ahead and put it on your holding hook for later. Now let's do the body. So with 2 single rubber bands in the head, let's start with the top, at the top of the loom, set in that configuration. You're going to start again from the very top diagonally, 2 rubber bands at a time, and we're going to go 2 down. And then after that third peg, we're going to go to the chin peg across, and we're going to push it down. Again, let's start at the top where the arrow is, diagonal, 2 down, and come into the chin peg there. And we want to push it down carefully, not to stack them. Now for the head, or the center of the face, 2 single rubber bands down to the chin peg. There. And now let's do the body. Again, from the chin, 2 rubber bands. That creates the shoulder. And let's do the other shoulder from the chin to the side. And now we're going to add bulk to his body here. So you can use either 3 or 4 rubber bands. I used 3 on the side and then 4 on the belly, so let's go ahead and do that. And your choice, you can make it 3 or 4. So I'm going to take 3 single rubber bands, and I'm going to come down 3 times on each side. That's again 3 single rubber bands coming down on each side 3 times. Repeat on the other side. And then for his bottom there, just take 2 single rubber bands from the side peg to the center where his bottom is going to be. Repeat on the other side. And since this chin peg is so thick already, I'm just going to use 2 single rubber bands from the chin down 1 for the center of the body. So 2 single rubber bands from the chin peg down to 1 peg. And then for the rest of his tummy, we're going to do 4 single rubber bands. So that's a set of 12. Just repeat it all the way to the bottom, his bottom there, 4 single rubber bands. Okay, now his body should look like that. And let's add all his parts. Take your hook. I'm going to add whatever you have. Just go ahead and add it. I have my ears first. I'm going to add his ears. I'm going to add the nose right off. And the nose again goes on the 3rd peg from the top where his face is, and center it. And next the eyes. The eyes goes on the 2nd peg from the top all the way across, and once you have it on there, go ahead and split it out. And now let's add his foot. Take one of his foot that you made earlier, put your hook through the loop, and transfer it onto the foot rubber band. The foot peg there. Making sure all the rubber band gets on there, otherwise your foot will come off. And now let's cap his bottom off. You can do it 3 or 4 times, that's up to you. 1, 2, 3, I'll do 4 to make it a little tighter, but you don't have to. Oops, mine came off. So many rubber bands. 2, 3, 4. Okay, now that we have his body, let's go ahead and put holding rubber bands. We're going to put one around his eyes, one single around his nose. We're going to add some bulk. We're going to use 2 single around his chest area there, and another 2 single right below that. So that's a total of 4 rubber bands, a single around his eyes, single around the nose, 2 on his chest area, and 2 near his belly there. And now we are ready to loop. So go ahead and reach under the capping rubber band. Make sure you reach under the capping, and you're going to grab the first 4 single rubber bands, which goes up. Hold your capping bands and pull it up onto the center belly. Push it down and reach back in that cap band. Pull the next 2, whichever it is on top, and looping it right onto itself, creating teardrops. And back in there again, grab the last 2 and putting it onto itself. Let's go inside the leg rubber bands. Make sure you push everything back, grab the bottom 2 and looping it onto itself. And that's going to be 3 rubber bands, so make sure you grab all 3 and making sure you see the teardrops. The teardrops are important, and continue up the side and stop at the shoulder on both sides of the body. Pull everything back, grab the bottom 3, looping it onto itself. Now I'm on the other side, again pull everything back, grab the bottom 3 and looping it onto itself. Push the holding rubber bands back. You can also look on the side of your loom, turn it to the side to see how it's supposed to, the teardrop is catching. So that's what it's supposed to look like, nice and clean. And now let's do the middles before we forget. Take the middle up, the 4 rubber bands, and looping it to itself, creating the nice teardrops. And let's come up 1 more, and let's add the arms before we bring up the last chest piece there. Okay, now we'll take the arms that we made prior, put our hook through the loops, and carefully holding down the rubber bands, pulling out the shoulder 2 rubber bands. We're going to slide the arms through and then hooking it onto the chin peg. There, now 1 arm is on. Again, take the other arm that you made, put it through the hook, the loop, to the hook. Grab the shoulder rubber band, slide your arms on, and looping it onto the chin peg. And kind of keep it down, don't let it come off. And now, don't forget the last rubber band for the torso, chest area, and looping it onto the chin peg. And so looking down your body, you should have all teardrops on your polar bear. And now let's go ahead and reach inside, pull everything back, grab the top 2 rubber bands. It should be the one going up to the nose. And once you pull that, you should be able to see teardrops forming underneath the nose and looping it onto itself. Pull my nose out there, and now we're going to reach back in there. You should be able to see the next two, and mine pulled is going to the right. And if yours goes to the left, go there. And the last two. Okay, now that's the start of the face. Let's go up the side of the face. Pull all of your rubber bands back. Make sure your teardrop is catching. Your rubber bands. Pull everything back, grab the bottom two, and put it on the ear peg there. Make sure it doesn't come off, push it down, reach all the way in, grab the bottom two, and looping it onto the forehead now. And let's do the other side of the face. It's important that your teardrops are catching your rubber bands, otherwise your animal will fall apart. So always check, looking on the side of your loom to make sure that your rubber bands are caught by the teardrops. And now let's get to the center of the face. So loop it up and right onto the forehead there. And once again, if you want to check to make sure you have all teardrops, go ahead and do that. And now to finish him off, we're going to do the slip knot. Again, right in the center, peg in the middle of his forehead, reach in, grab your rubber band to create a slip knot using one single rubber band. There. And now let's take him off the loom. Go ahead with your hook. I use the back of mine because I don't have any, it's not fat or anything, so I can just help my polar bear here, my bear, off the loom very carefully, not to break your rubber band. And always use a metal hook here because there's a lot of rubber bands that you're working with, but tight. Okay, there's your polar bear. You can kind of position his legs and pull his paws so it's faced correctly. Fix his face. There's his eyes. Push it out. It was on the pack. Push it out to the front. Pull out his nose, his ears, pull out his arms and his legs, and again position his paw, the pad of his paws to face in the direction that you want. The front paws too, just pull the bottom and it'll just go forward like that. Again, the back and his neck, go ahead and reach under his chin, under his nose, and pull those rubber bands forward, and his neck will arch up. And there's your polar bear. And you can go ahead and tuck the charm string in if you don't want it in the back like that and finish it off. And now let's add the tail. And he should be able to just stand on all fours. To make the tail, we are going to take a single rubber band and loop it around 4 times on your hook. Take a single rubber band, double it, put it on your hook, and pull those 4 looped rubber bands onto your hook. So we're not going to make his tail that long. This will be it. This is his tail. Now take a single rubber band, put it on your middle finger and go ahead and pull it through and put the loop right onto the hook. That's his little tail. And now let's go on his behind there. Put your hook through that middle rubber band. Get your tail loops rubber band right there onto your hook, pull it through, and create a slip knot. And go ahead and push the tail right in between there. That's his little tail. That's your polar bear on all fours. I hope you like them. Thank you for watching.